Hi, hello. Before I get into reading, I figured, and this is something I probably should have done, like, I don't know, maybe the first or second audiobook video, but I just kind of wanted to ask if, like, maybe the volume is too, like, if the volume needs to change at all, because sometimes I think I've listened to these and it's been kind of too quiet, at least from what I can tell. And I always figured, well, it's not that big of a deal because there's a volume bar on YouTube videos, and if it's ever too quiet, you can just turn that up. But I don't know. Just in case, I figured I'd ask if maybe the volume needs to be changed. Louder, quieter. Who knows? Yeah. Just figured I'd pose that question. Anyways, Chapter 69 Fire in the City of Cats. Eileen and Lola are in the simulator. Mivari, Naruto, Sakura, Fu, Rin, Conan, Lincoln, Linka, Lainey, Lionel, Penny, and Lisa are in the control room. The simulator activate, and Eileen and Lola found themselves in a city populated by anthropomorphic cats. I know this place. It's Mega Cat City from SWAT Cats, the Radical Squadron. I love this show. I've never heard of that. That, for all I know, that's made up. Anyways, says Eileen. What is it about, Eileen asks Lola. It centers around a silly. Oh, wow. Oh, it's happening now, isn't it? A city full of anthropomorphic cats and two mechanics that are really the SWAT cats, answers Eileen. What does anthropomorphic mean? Asks Lola. I guess we're getting a lesson in anthropomorphic. It means that they are animals that have human characteristics. An explosion was heard. Sounds like we've got big problems, says Eileen. Yeah, look, says Lola. Eileen and Lola saw a bunch of police cats called the Enforcers fighting two villainous robot cats. Oh man, it's the Metallicats, Mac and Molly Mange, the most ruthless husband and wife criminal team in all of the city, says Eileen. Okay. Uh, why are they robots now? Asks Lola. They drowned while trying to escape from Alcatraz prison when their boat was hit by a larger boat. Their bodies were found by Professor Hackle, and he made them into robots. They're out for revenge on Mayor Manx? Okay, I thought this was kind of like a silly kid show. I mean, sure, some kid shows, at least older ones, have death in them to an extent. I know regular show had people dying every episode, but that's not exactly an older cartoon though. Anyways, this kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah, yeah, I love imagining cats drowning. I mean, they're anthropomorphic, so they're anthropomorphic, so I don't know. This kind of a jump scare is all. Da-da-da-da-da-da. We got to stop them, says Lola. Let's. Come on, says Eileen. Eileen and Lola ran to the scene, and the enforcers were firing bullets at the Metallicats, and they couldn't stop them. You cannot stop us, Feral. Feral? Is that like a guy? Says Mac. As Mac was about to fire his laser gauntlet, a fireball hit him and blasted his arm off, and he screamed in pain, or whatever robots feel. Or whatever robots feel. That's called creative liberty. You could probably have just written, they don't, it seems a little cruel to make robots feel pain, especially ones that used to be, I was about to say humans, alive, but it's whatever. I don't know. Maybe Mac and Molly are the two most uh, despicable villains in all of media, and they absolutely deserve to feel pain. Who knows? I've never seen it. Mac, are you all right? Asks Molly. Another fireball hit the ground and exploded and blew Molly into a dumpster 1 block away. I was kind of imagining them as giant robots, but that's just my thing. That's my fault. Mac saw Eileen and Lola with smoke coming out of the palms of their hands. The game is over, you stupid tin cans. I'd have said tin cats. It's not super funny, but something. You two should have stayed dead when you both tried to escape from Alcatraz. I am assuming it's supposed to be Alcatraz, because I know Alcatraz is a real place. But cat puns. Says Eileen. Who are you kids? Asks Mac. My name is Eileen Carter, says Eileen. My name is Lola Loud, says Lola. And we've come to destroy you both, says Eileen. Oh yeah? Not if we destroy you first. Okay, who here thinks that Mac and Molly are going to beat Lola and Eileen? Lola then lunged at Mac and ripped him apart piece by piece, and she crushed his head with a powerful jump stomp, and she blew him up in a huge fiery explosion. Like, come on, man, it's overkill. Superheroes don't go overkill. Not unless it's like some big moment where the superhero has been pushed to his breaking point, you know? Like, you know, I think of Mark from Invincible. You know, he gets real brutal whenever his loved ones are at risk, you know, stuff like that. It's whatever. As Lola was fighting Mac, Molly got out of the dumpster and she saw Lola destroy Mac in the explosion. Mac! Cries Molly, who just saw her husband die. When the smoke cleared, Lola was standing on Mac's melted robot body victoriously, and Molly was enraged and she charged toward Lola and she was going to kill her. Is this like. Is this an adult animated show? Because, you know, I hear. What is it? SWAT cats, the radical squadron, and I kind of just assume whatever. It's what am I thinking? It's JD's influence. Even though this is probably some kind of super kid friendly show, he hates these characters so much that he's willing to just throw that kid friendliness out the window and brutally murder these characters who probably at worst would have been like team rocketed away, you know, blasting off and all that. When the smoke cleared, Mac's body victoriously, and Molly was enraged and she charged toward Lola and she was going to kill her. But Eileen unsheathed her sword that she had found in the land before time, and it was a sword made from a meteorite with indestructible properties in the blade. Great. Let's have Zorro. Let's have Zorro fight Eileen. What is Zorro looking for? No, no, no. It's not Zorro. It's the girl who's looking for all of the legendary blades or whatever. Oh well. Indestructible properties in the blade. They both clashed, and Eileen and Molly were fighting in a nasty and savage sword fight. Sparks were flying everywhere, and some of the buildings in the area got set on fire. Okay. Molly, surprisingly, was a good sword fighter, and Eileen was getting tired. She was covered in sweat. No freaking way. You can't win, you foolish little girl. You will be gone like Mayor Manx, says Molly. She's too strong. I can't beat her like this. I need more power, says Eileen in her head, shockingly. I mean, granted, she's like in the hierarchy of people related, not related, you know, in JD relationships, she's like second class, you know? It goes JD, then all the loud kids, and then all the people that met JD through the loud, you know, all the random people that are becoming friends with. Oh my god, I should not be reading ahead. My bad, my bad. I'm getting off track anyways. I need to get back can't win. Right. It's just crazy though. That even though she's not like super duper close to JD, you know, because I can't imagine any of the Lincoln girls, the loud girls, I guess loud kids, because Lincoln still fights, but still, it's hard to imagine anyone struggling. I have the feeling though that the whole "I need more power" is going to lead to her getting, wouldn't you know it, more power, which isn't like temporary, you know. It's just permanent. And that way she'll never have to struggle in a fight ever again. I guess that's the closest thing to training or learning one's powers that James ever will ever get to. An enormous explosion blasted out of a nearby oil refinery, and a snake made entirely of pure fire emerged and flew to Eileen. It entered her body, and she was in a powerful tornado of pure fire, and it blew Molly into a nearby building. It's a choosing process. Oh my god, who could have seen that coming? Says Lola. Eileen's energy levels were rising exponentially, and when the fire tornado died down, Eileen was changed forever. She had sprouted wings made of pure fire, and her sclera and her sclera in her eyes were glowing orange. I guess that's part of the eyeball. I don't know. What happened to me? I feel strange, asks Eileen. Eileen, you now have fire powers like me, says Lola. I do? Eileen swings her hand and she threw a fireball and it hit a nearby building and the building exploded into flaming splinters. Before I read anything, I'm covering it with my hand just so I don't read ahead. Do you think she's going to be all like, oh, oops, I just did a bunch of collateral damage? I have no idea if people were in that building. They could be dead. You know? Is she going to feel even the slightest bit of guilt over just casually like sure there's a little bit of leeway because she just got these powers, she doesn't know her own strength, stuff like that, but that's not the point. The point is whether or not she's going to address what she just did as a bad thing, which she isn't. I'm going to just say it now. She isn't. It doesn't matter. She's a main character now. She can do whatever she wants. Like you could have just had it like explode the ground near Molly, you know, because chances are nobody's right next to Molly. You could just do that, demonstrate your power, maybe even hurt the enemy. But no, for some strange reason, we had to throw it into a building. Let me just see. I do have fire powers, and it looks like my powers are stronger. Oh, wow, I have wings too. She looks behind her and she sees a pair of fire wings. Dude, I'm not surprised. Molly got up and was even more enraged, and the SWAT cats, T-Bone and Razor, arrived, and they saw Eileen with fire wings. Razor, are you seeing this? That girl has wings of fire, and she's fighting one of the Metallicats, says T-Bone. Yeah, I see it, T-Bone, says Razor. Lola spread her wings too, and the SWAT cats and the enforcers were amazed. Yeah, but they already knew she had wings. T-Bone did at least. Whatever. I guess they just look so beautiful. That little girl has wings of fire too, asks Razor. I guess they didn't realize she had wings. Maybe they have short-term memory loss. Incredible. Those two are like living infernos. Let's help them out, says T-Bone. Affirmative, says Razor. T-Bone and Razor arrived and were ready to fight. Wow, the SWAT cats, T-Bone and Razor, says Eileen. That's right, says T-Bone. You've both did a great job fighting the Metallicats. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're back. Lola destroyed Mac there, says Eileen, pointing to the melted remains of Mac. Not bad for a 6-year-old girl, huh? My name is Lola Loud, says Lola. And I'm Eileen Carter. We are now known as the Sisters of the Inferno? When did this happen? What? When did this happen? I mean, I know she just got her fire powers and you called them living infernos, but whatever. Sure, yeah, whatever. Sisters of the Inferno, says Eileen. Not bad for you two. Now let's destroy this tinfoil criminal. Oh, wow, this is a short one. Oof. Sorry. Oh, not a bad name for you two. Now let's destroy this tinfoil criminal, says T-Bone. With pleasure, says Lola. Let's get her, says Eileen. Lola and Eileen fired fireballs at Molly and blasted her arms off. Mini slicer missiles deploy. Oof. Sorry, I am. Okay, Mini slicer missiles deploy, says Razor. T-Bone and Razor fired small missiles, and the metal shells opened up, and some razor-sharp blades came out, and they sliced off Molly's legs. She fell to the ground in a clanging mess. Now to finish her off with teamwork. Ready, guys? Asks Eileen. Always ready, answers T-Bone. That's so cool. Eileen and Lola charged up a big fireball. Mini match head missiles deploy, says Razor. T-Bone and Razor fired missiles with red heads on them, and they ignited, and Eileen and Lola fired the big fireballs, and the fireballs and missiles combined and formed a powerful power move. Flaming ignition bombs! Whoa! The fireball missiles hit Molly and exploded with incredible power, and Molly was vaporized in an instant, but in the process a small part of the city was incinerated. They're heroes. When the smoke cleared, nothing was left of Molly. The Metallicats were destroyed. That takes care of that, says Eileen. Yep, says Lola. The spirits of Mac and Molly were on standing before them. Hey Molly, we're dead again, says Mac. I can't believe we were beaten by those meddling SWAT cats and two stupid kids, says Molly. And you may want to look below you, says Eileen. Oh, kill me now. A bunch of evil demonic hands erupted out of the ground and grabbed Mac and Molly and dragged them down into the netherworld, and a malevolent laugh was heard. Whoa, that was scary, says T-Bone. You said it, buddy, and the good news is that Mac and Molly Mange are gone forever, says Razor. Indubitably, says Eileen. Freaking nerd. Good riddance, Lola. Thank you for helping us defeat the Metallic Cats, Eileen. It was no problem at all, T-Bone. Razor, says Eileen. A vortex appeared, and Eileen and Lola went in and the simulation ended. In the living room, I look up how Eileen got fire powers in my Legends book. Oh, here we go. Loving this. Oh, always a fun little sequence, isn't it? Here it is. Eileen got fire powers because of this fire snake of Hino Kagutsuchi, the god of fire in Japanese myth. Once every 500 years, the snake of fire will answer the call of a person fighting an extremely formidable foe. That person will be given wings of fire and winged flight. Oh, who would have guessed? Enhanced cosmic pyrokinesis, superhuman strength, night vision? Hence the glowing orange sclera. Ah. Create beasts of your power. Everything. And by the way, I don't know if you caught that, but instead of saying pure fire, I said pure pyre. I don't even know how I managed that. Sometimes I say fantastic instead of fantastic. Maybe I'm like dyslexic. Who knows? All the more reason why I shouldn't be reading. Anyways, but yeah, just everything. No limitations. No instance where it's like, oh, if only I could make beasts of fire in this scenario. And that would either force her to get creative or first like cat for cat pun, very funny. Anyways, or force fuck and now I'm losing my mind. Force her to get creative or force her to rely on teammates or something like that, teammates that can create fire beasts. Anyways, create beasts of pure fire, immortality, invincibility. I'm invincible. My name is Shapesmith. And other powers associated with fire. Oh, other powers you didn't cover them all? I guess not. You didn't say something like Johnny Storm, who can just, turn himself into a fire person. So I guess, just put other powers associated with fire and just boom, now you've got everything covered. If you think of something later, oh, well, that's just one of the powers of fire that's wasn't directly named, and boom, you got a safety net. How fantastic! But they can only be given to someone that has learned fire magic. Oh, duh. That's interesting. When we were in the land before time, I gave you a book on fire magic, and you got it down in a matter of hours. I say, that's true. This is a really big change for me, says Eileen. Didn't the snake come out of like an erupted oil refinery or something? I don't know. It's magic, so who cares? Oh, you got it down in a matter of hours. Already knows fire magic, but hey, I don't know, man. Even my like I spoilers, but not a huge fan of My Hero Academia. But I have to admit, it's kind of cool seeing the underdog guy with no superpowers suddenly get one of the best superpowers. All Might's one for all. Or is it one? Is it all for? No, all for one is the enemy, evil guys. But yeah, you know, why didn't all for one? I mean, why didn't All Might give it to who's another character? Todoroki? I don't know. The Fire and Ice guy. Why didn't he give it to the Fire and Ice guy? I actually don't know. But the Fire and Ice guy, he's already got powers. with which he can do things. Just like Eileen already had fire magic. Maybe we want to give. Oh, nuts. Whatever. Maybe when we want to give these superpowers to somebody who deserves it or needs it and doesn't already have an indestructible sword and I can only assume basic fire powers. Whatever. It's hardly. It's I think I'm just trying to meet my quota of anger. At this point, who cares? Hardly the worst thing that's happened in this chapter. This is a really big change for me, says Eileen. No kidding, says Lincoln. With great power comes a great responsibility. You messed it up, man. Like, it's with great power comes great responsibility. It's just easy. Everybody knows that. Comes a great responsibility. That A absolutely annihilates that little saying. It makes me never want to say it. You know? It rolls off the tongue with great power comes great responsibility. Linka, I'm calling you out. Yeah, but I need some training and need to learn how to control my powers, says Eileen. No sweat. Volcana and Lola can train you, I say. It's what friends do, Eileen, says Lola. Thank you, guys, says Eileen. Eileen's life was changed forever. Forever changed. The end. Another fanfiction complete. I wanted to do a fanfiction with the SWAT Cats. This was one of my favorite shows growing up. I liked most of the episodes. My favorite. What do you mean? Oh, my favorites were Destructive Nature, the Metallic Cats, Chaos and Crystal, the Ghost Pilot, the Sea Cate, Sea Cate, Cite, Kitty, Kikat, whatever. Mutation City, Volcanoes Erupt, and Caverns of Horror. I have a series of chapters planned for the SWAT Cats. I hope you all like it and tell me what you think. See you next time. The SWAT Cats Dash the Radical Squadron is owned by Hanna-Barbera and Robert Alvarez. Loved it. I loved this one. I'm honest. I'm being serious. So, weird that this is happening after the first chapter, but hey, little update. Um, to like the more perceptive of you, I'm sure you'd be asking, hey, why do you sound a month older, almost a month older than when you were reading the first chapter? Well, that might be because I may have put this particular audiobook on the back burner because of life stuff, and I kind of forgot about it, and I realized, oh my god, an entire month has almost passed, and I should probably actually record this. So here we are. It's been a full. It's I keep saying a full month, but no, it's almost been a month. Has it? Hold on. It's been a month since I read. It's probably been over a month since I last uploaded an audiobook. Um, but yeah, uh, so I don't know. I just thought I'd bring it up. It's a little jarring, I guess. Sorry. Muscle Cats was the last chapter. Don't worry, I didn't forget, and I also totally just looked back, turning on my mouse like I even really need it. Okay, chapter 70, Muscle Beach Louds. It starts at the beaches of. Oh my god, I'm out of practice, you can tell. It starts at the beaches by Lake Michigan. Lynn Sr. is driving Meavery, Eileen, Jesse, Riley, Jerry, the Teen Titans, Minato, whatever, Kushina, Kakashi, Naruto, and the girls. The Eds and the Loud sibling, Naruto and the girls. Naruto and the girls. Why stop listing characters when it gets to the girls who I assume are all have all pledged themselves to Naruto. Whatever. Whatever. The Eds and the Loud siblings in a modified and larger Vanzilla. We call it Vanzilla 2.0. Creative. Woody is driving in his car. I guess I didn't know that he had a car, and it's always nice to see Woody get involved. Nice isn't actually the word I'd use. Whatever. Woody is driving in his car, and his nephew and niece, Knothead and Splinter, are with him. Oh, good God. The Santiagos and the Casagrandes are driving in their purple minivan, and Clyde and his dad are driving in their van. Thank you for taking us to the beach, Mr. Lin, I say. No problem, JD. You are going to love it, says Lin Sr. Is it a beach, though? I guess. Am I beach gatekeeping? Am I beach keeping by saying it's got to be a beach if it's by an ocean? Whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll just agree to disagree. I have a feeling I am. Lake Erie and the Great Lakes are like miniature oceans in the North America mainland. Yeah, true. That is true, I say. This is the exact term that is the exact term to describe them. Like you said, everyone needs to have some fun in a while, says Lisa, as if like you're not as if you're not living like the best life, moved in with a superhero who's like slowly one by one giving people's. In fact, wasn't it the Teen Titans chapter where it just casually reveals that Lisa, of all people, gets magic powers? Because obviously she would. After all, she was the one who would have the magic trapping stones, crystals, whatever they're called. Wouldn't wouldn't it have made sense to give her gear or mech? I forget whatever not claptrap, whatever trigger happy belongs to. That's the gear. I think gear sounds right. You get the point though. Why the scientist who makes gizmos and whatnot would have just magic, plain magic, whatever. Um, that is the exact. Totes. I'm gonna have some FON fun, says Lenny. We all are, says Marie. Yeah, this is gonna be fun, says Eileen. This is gonna be really fun. I've never been to the beach before, says Shannon. You will love it, Shannon. Who we all remember. We all remember. I say that half as a joke because I do remember, and half as like. I mean, I say it half as a joke because I'm sure nobody remembers, and half as a joke because I do remember. If a little bit of reminding is all it took. You will love it, Shannon, says Lainey. We are all arrive at the beach and unload and set up spots for us to sit back and relax. All right, guys, let's put on your sunscreen, says Lynn Sr. You know how hilarious it would be if JD or just any one of his superpowered buddies got skin cancer? Sure, he'd snap his fingers and make it go away, but like, what if that was just a whiplash-inducing left turn into just this ultra serious fanfic about all the loud kids plus company dealing with one of their friends having skin cancer. It's what I hope for, really, because I think I'd enjoy that more than this. Even if the story's not all there, it's at least absurd. It's all absurd, actually. I don't know what I want. I want to stop, that's what I want. But I've already stopped for almost a month. We all put on our sunscreen to avoid getting burned by the sun. Is that what it does? Remember, kids, always put on your sunscreen when you're at the beach or outside having fun. The sun's ultraviolet radiation can hurt you and is a bad cause of skin cancer. Hint, hint, says I say to the viewers. Exactly. The sun may be a sphere, but of burning hydrogen and helium gases, but its radiation is considered a dangerous thing, says Lisa. I feel like you're kind of overdoing it, though. Like, I feel like maybe you'll just make kids afraid to go outside if you don't, like, emphasize that it's rare, because it's not like every day that you go outside you're rolling the dice. No, no. Summer is just a particularly sunny season. Particularly sunny season. Who cares? Where was I? Can't argue with that, Lisa, I say. This is going to be so cool, JD, says Naruto. I know, little brother. This is going to be fun. In case you're wondering where Sasuke is, he's sick with a cold and he couldn't come with. So I say to the viewers, "Oh, that's such a shame. Such a shame that Sasuke is the only one who couldn't come. Such a shame that like I'm pretty sure the 10 different methods of healing people, many of which through magic, doesn't appear to work on the common cold. That's too bad. Oh, what a shame. Yeah, that stinks, but we'll tell him all about it when we get back," says Naruto. That just makes him feel worse, I would assume. "Yeah, this is gonna be fun," I say. "You said it, JD," says Sakura. "This is gonna be fun," says Fu. "You said it, Fu," says Jerry. "This is gonna be fun!" "I love the beach, right, Minato sensei?" asks Rin. "We all do," Rin, says Minato. "We get it! You all love the beach! As long as Jiraiya isn't here with us, last time we were here, I caught him peeking on Mikoto and pulverized him badly," says Kushina. "Boy, he really is a pervert. I can tell that he's a menace to all women in general. Let me check and see if he's here," I say. I concentrate and scan the surroundings for Jiraiya's energy signal, and it shows that he is on the beach hiding. Why though? Why would he be there? I sense his signal. I point to him to a nearby bush 200 yards away. Okay, nearby and 200 yards. I mean, it's not the farthest distance in the world, but nearby, I'd say like, oh, it's, I don't know, 10 feet away. I guess, I'm nitpicking. He's over there hiding in the bush. I say, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" asks Kushina, who, like, shouldn't be questioning the power of an actual god. "My energy sensing abilities have never proven me wrong. If I may ask, though, Kushina, how did you pulverize Master Jiraiya?" I ask. "Oh, I found a sign at the beach that said that Jiraiya was not allowed on the beach due to harassment of women, and I found him in a bush and beat him to a pulp, you know," says Kushina. I can believe it. Believe it! And I find that to be coincidental. Master Jiraiya is here at this beach like he was at the beach you went to. We know! Who are you explaining that for? Yes, it's a similar situation. He is at a beach with you guys. We understand that concept. Or are you implying that it's yes, okay, yes. I picked up on like the 10 or so times you've said things, okay? You don't need if I swear to God, if he does something similar to something if he explains it in a different way all over again, I'm going to lose my mind. Has Master Jiraiya ever been beaten up by Lady Sunaide for his antics? Asks Lincoln. Oh yeah, Lady Sunaide told me so herself. She pulverized him practically into oblivion. Oh, anybody playing the new Oblivion remake? I'm not. When she caught him at the hot springs and he had both his arms and legs and 6 ribs broken and a handful of organs were ruptured. Look, like, perverts are bad, but Jesus, man. And more so, like, perverts are like one in a million. Not one in a million. Uh, But they're what you expect in anime. So, basically every anime has that one pervert character and they get beaten up. Um, and it's all comical. Oh, there's a big bump on his head. Oh, he's covered in bandages. Oh, so funny. It's not funny when you like imply he has severe organ damage. I don't know. Holy mackerel, that is unbelievable, says Lainey, who has seen and possibly done worse. Possibly is not the word I'd use, definitely, because she killed that kid who was apparently made a deal with the devil. So I guess it's not all that bad, but still, that's not the point. I know, Lainey. I was floored when I heard it from Lady Sunaide. Sunada. Oh, I've forgotten all over again. I'm just going to keep saying Sunaide. It's a shame she couldn't come with us. Lady Sunaide and Shizuna both deserve a vacation, I say. You're right about that, but all that paperwork is making it impossible, says Kushina. I believe it. Believe it, if only. I gasp as I get an idea. I just got an idea! I'll be right back, I say. I run over to Lynn Sr. Mr. Lynn, I got to make a quick stop to the Leafs, I say, as if you need his permission. You're basically a god. Okay, JD, be back in 10 minutes. How far is the Leaf? You use instant. I'm reading ahead. Okay, I say. I use instant transmission and beam over to the Leaf. Then why'd you drive to the beach? God. If I had a nickel for every time JD took the slow way to anywhere, when he could very well have just teleported everybody to a place, I'd have minimum 5 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but you'd think it'd happen more than 5 times. That's not the original, but I'm getting distracted. In the Leaf, Lady Sunade is overworked doing all the paperwork when I appear. JD, you sure surprised me, says Lady Sunade. I'm sorry to appear like this, Lady Sunade, but I have some good news for you. I've figured out a way for you to defeat the most dreaded enemy of all. Oh, what the heck is that? There. Of all Kage's paperwork. I can tell it's been piling up in here, I say. I know, and it's giving me a small headache, says Lady Sunade. We'll worry no longer. Have you ever thought about using shadow clones to get the job done? I ask, as if that's like there's no way nobody's thought of that before. Oh, kill me. Ow, I just hurt my elbow. My idea sparked some thought in her, and her face turned red. I had no idea that can be done, says a Hokage, mind you. Would you please leave the office for a second? Says Lady Sunade. I have a feeling I know what you're about to do. One sec, I say fearful. I pull out a walkie-talkie. Naruto, code red brown? Code red brown. I put my walkie-talkie away. Okay, let her rip. What? I run away I say. I run away quickly out the door and covered my ears, and the Anbu and Shizune joined me, and they covered their ears with me. Lady Sunade went into a blind rage and loudly ranted at it, and it could be heard from over 5 miles away. Lady Sunade stopped 3 minutes later. You can all come back in now, says Lady Sunade. Are you feeling better, Lady Sunade? I ask, opening the door. Sweet mother of French toast, you broke out 20 clones, I say, seeing multiple Sunade clones. Yep, and I figured I deserve a vacation. Shizune, we're going to the beach, says Lady Sunade. Yes, milady, answers Shizune. Isn't this a beach episode? Okay, well, firstly, this is a beach episode, like anime stereotype niche, wow, whatever. But, like, I was thinking it would be less Naruto based, And right now, right? Let me scratch my nose. Right now, and possibly because it's just there's so many Naruto characters that he's decided to add, but it feels like this is mostly Naruto, and it's really bugging me. My phone just went off, but it's unimportant. And like, if it was just there's so many Naruto characters that they're talking a lot, and it makes it seem like it's a Naruto chapter, but it's really not. But we are now in the Leaf, and the only bit of conflict that we've gotten is from the Jiraiya, I think is his name, the pervert. And I don't know. I'm just a little tired of all the Naruto stuff, I guess. Okay, where was I? JD, we're going to change into our swimsuits and we'll be right out, says Lady Sunade. I'll wait outside, I say. I left the office, and 5 minutes later, Lady Sunade and Shizune came out. Lady Sunade was in a beautiful purple one piece bum 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 swimsuit, and Shizune had a black bikini. My nose is itching the crap. out of me. I'm guess I'm itching the crap out of my nose, but it's bugging me. Also, these names, I have no idea. I thought Shizune was a guy until just now. I guess it's possible it could be a guy wearing a black bikini, but I have to assume. You two look amazing. It's just the names, Anime names, you can never tell. You know, Someone named Brittany, oh, that's a girl. Someone named Douglas, oh, that's a guy. Shizune? Hmm. Jiraiya? No idea. Naruto? No, you could probably tell Naruto. You two look amazing, I say. Thank you, says Lady Tsunade. Just a forewarning. I sensed that Master Jiraiya is at the beach. We are at oh, kill me! Kill me! Okay, we're at and he's up to his old tricks as usual, I say. Thank you for telling me, JD, says Lady Tsunade. I'm sorry you guys had to hear that. It's just when I stutter and mess up my words like that. Oh, so annoying. We appreciate it, says Shizune. No problem. Stay close to me. You're so manly, JD. Protecting the weak and powerless women from a pervert who apparently had his organs ruptured. Lady Tsunade and Shizune put their hands on my shoulders, and I used to insert. You see, he could have totally teleported everybody to the beach. Whatever, instant transmission and beamed us to the beach. Back at the beach, me, Lady Tsunade, and Shizune all appeared. Hey guys, I'm back, and Lady Tsunade and Shizune, Shitsu are with me. Hey, Aunt Tsunade, Tsunada. I'm really starting to think it's Tsunada now. Oh God, hold on. Oh my, yeah, okay, yeah, it's Tsunade. Tsunade. Oh, I'm so mad. Hey, Aunt Tsunade, Shizune, says Naruto. Hey, Naruto, JD's an amazing guy. Maybe later on I'll join his harem. I now have lots of free time thanks to the shadow clones, says Lady Tsunade. Tsunada! Ah, I did it again. That's great, Tsunada sensei. We got Naruto's warning? We got Naruto's warning. What? Oh, the code brown, says Sakura. That reminds me, JD, what was a code red brown? Asks Lady Tsunade. Oh, I mean no insult, Lady Tsunade, but that's a color code for a Lady Tsunade temper rant. Oops. Lincoln introduced me to a special color code warning system he and Clyde created, and I introduced it to Naruto and everyone. I say. I see. Good thinking, JD. Let's now relax, says Lady Tsunade. Let's, I say. We were relaxing, and Naruto made some shadow clones to protect Lady Tsunade from Jiraiya, as if she literally didn't just prove she could do that herself. Then again, what are the shadow clones doing? Right? Jiraiya is a pervert. I'm pretty sure is the implication I've been getting. So like all he really needs to do is look at her, right? I know what Lady Tsunade looks like. She's hot. That's not sugar coated. She's an attractive woman, and all he has to do is just look, right? It's not like he's gonna jump at her in order to, I don't know, pervert all over her. That's okay. That sounds bad, but you get the point. He doesn't need to like get close. So like I have to assume that the shadow clones just basically made a wall, which frankly, at that point, I wouldn't want to be there. I mean, I guess maybe you could still sunbathe, but it's a beach. Go swimming. That's anywho. Protect Tsunade from, excuse me, from Jiraiya. As for me, as me and Vari were relaxing, it was interrupted by the loud crashing sound of a huge oh, hold on. The loud crashing of a huge heavyweight bar being lifted and slammed onto the ground by a heavy lifting bodybuilder named Hunk Hardbody. And he was trying to get the attention of a lot of beautiful girls in swimsuits. Oh, they're in swimsuits! Right, because they're at a beach. Yeah, pump it up, says Hunk, twirling the weights on his fingertip. Well, what do you girls think? Is this great or what? That's very impressive, actually, Hunk. Hunk is my new favorite because he reminds me of myself, only weaker and less socially awkward. or more socially awkward? Yes, yes. Because that implies I'm less social. Whatever. Yeah, pump it up. You like that or what? Great, says the ladies. Bored. Ooh, bad day for hard body, huh? Let's hear it for Hunk Hard Body, says Hunk. Says Hunk. He flexes his muscles. Pump it up. Train whistles on his back and arms. It'd be so great. I'd be so great. I'd be so great. Looks like those girls are bored with that big behemoth, I say. Yeah, they sure are, says Marie. I think I'll show that oversized palooka a thing or two about how to not overexert your pride and narcissism is just beautiful, you know? That's just a beautiful, beautiful sentence to have written out. Oh boy. Narcissism, says the self-insert with 100-something powers, a mermaid wife, and, from what I'm hearing, a harem in the future. Like, what's he doing ultimately? Bugging some women? Oh well, whatever. He's in public. When you're in public, you're bound to get bugged occasionally. I mean, have the girls asked him to leave? I mean, sure, there's a difference between being annoying and being a nuisance. And at that point, like, sure, maybe he's a bit of a jerk. But does he deserve to be potentially killed by JD? Because I'm sure that's about to happen. Whatever. I walk over to the spot. Go get him, JD, says Vree. I will. I may not look strong on the outside, but you literally have super strength. I know that for a fact. But I'm a superpowered powerhouse on the inside. I have a feeling that I will have a huge fan club by the time I'm done here. I say, walking over to teach that oversized palooka a thing or two about how not to overexert your pride and narcissism. Oh, this is beautiful. I could just, I could just blink and swear all the text transforms into the dictionary definition of irony. Oh, what's the matter with you girls? Don't you know greatness when you see it? I'm the most colossal, the most stupendous, the most sensational, says Hunk. I make the scene. And the most obnoxious, overinflated palooka that ever lived, I say to the Hunk. Hunk's body deflated to hanging fat? Sorry to intrude like this, but you were interrupting our relaxation. Put a sock in it, please. Thank you. Hello, ladies, I say to the girls. Oh, he's so dreamy, says Lady 1. He's so cute, says Lady 2. Our hero, say the ladies. Thank God! Thank God! He did it! Oh, kill me! He really did it! He really went over and showed that overinflated palooka how not to over. I've already forgotten the oversized palooka a thing or two about not overexerting your pride and narcissism. He's a goddamn national treasure. Hey, you little punk! Oh, oops. Hunk was enraged and he turned red and blew his stack. Hey, you little punk! I'll pulverize you into mush for stealing my girls. My girls, my girls. Says the hunk to me. I'd like to see you try, you overgrown tub of bad protein, I say. Steam shot out of Hunk's nose red face, and he tried to punch me, and I grab his punch. That's so cool. Ladies, you may want to stand back, I say. The girls get out of the way, and I slammed Hunk onto the floor on both sides of me. Like, I can't even think of it. Just like a Tom and Jerry type attack. I yawned as I was doing it. Then I tied him into a ball and made some giant sand bowling pins. Watch this, ladies. JD Nutson for a perfect game. What can I say? Sometimes I like to show off, I say to the viewers, as he rolls that oversized palooka, who should really know a thing or two about how to not overexert his pride and narcissism. Oh boy. I roll the hunk down the beach, and he hits the sand pins with incredible force and knocks them all down, and the crash onomatopoeia appeared as he crashed, and the ladies cheered for me. Thank you, thank you. How do sand pins get knocked down? They'd be dusted, reduced to atoms. Bravo, JD, bravo, says the lifeguard, clapping. Naruto, Lady Tsunade, and everyone was cheering for me. That was one to strike up. Rimshot to laugh. Ha 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 ha. Get it? Asks Luann. Puri, Eddie, Starfire, Lenny, Ed, Lincoln, Lin Sr., Rita, Lady Tsunade, Shizune, Rin, Sakura, Fu, Ino, Hanada, and Naruto laughed. And the rest of Luann's siblings sighed. It's so weird, right? It's so weird. You actively show that it's okay not to like Luann's puns by having all of the siblings sigh instead of laughing. But for some strange reason, every single new character that you introduce, new, not original, just so we understand, is just in love with Luann's jokes. Is it not okay to not like them? Or is it more about the likability of the character? Who wouldn't like all these characters that get introduced? After all, they've got all these great, you know, traits, such as liking Luann's jokes. Because I guess it's negative character points if you don't actively. Okay, that was weird. What was I saying? Negative character points if you don't actively enjoy Luann's jokes. Now I have to check to make sure it didn't stop. Hold on. Anyways, good ones, says Lynn Sr. Oh, are we gonna go through all of them? I hope not. Ha! Funny, Luann, says Eddie. Hunk had birds and stars swirling around his head he was as he was in a pile of sand. Thank you, thank you. If this were a real bowling tournament, I would surely win, I say to the viewers, sure, why not? You'd say, and then you say, also, this is the first time I've ever bowled, before picking up a violin and casually playing it for the first time and perfectly. I don't know any violin exclusive music. Flight of the Bumblebee. There. Perfectly play Flight of the Bumblebee. Where was I? I would surely win. All right, beachgoers, it's time for the Lake Erie Muscle Beats powerlifting competition, announces the announcer. Ooh, sign me up, I say. Hunk then came to me. Weird. You think you can lift more than me? I'm the greatest thing since carotene. Beta carotene? What in the good God is that? Whatever. We shall see, right, ladies? I ask. Go get him, JD, says Lady One. I wave, and the competition started. Round one, the weight bars. Hunk was lifting a bar that weighed 200 pounds. Beat that wimp, says Hunk. Weight crashed as he dropped it. I lifted up a heavy weight that had 6-ton anchors for weights with ease. What are you, SpongeBob, dude? God, just end it now. Ta-da, I say. Everyone cheered for me. JD Nutson wins, and that was great. I'm glad we did that. Oh wait, it's multiple rounds. Well, he could still lose. We don't know yet. Ta-da! Everyone cheered for me. JD Nutson wins, announces the announcer. Oh yeah, watch this. Hunk walks over to a weight bar that had 9-ton giant weights on it, and he was having trouble lifting it. Let me try. I walk over and lift it up without any problem, and everyone cheered wildly. Way to go, JD, says Vuri. All right, JD, says Lincoln. Woo, that's my friend there, says Lynn. I put the weight down. I may love to show off. Unlike this overinflated palooka, who really ought to be shown a thing or two about how not to overexert his pride and narcissism. You can't, if he just hadn't said that, this would be just normal, it's JD showing off and being the coolest guy around. Typical. I'm not surprised. But it's just that one sentence that just really pissed me off. Okay, where was we? I am here. I may love to show off, but I don't let it go to my head. And I'm not in it for the fame and fortune. I just like doing it for fun. Showing off? Sure, whatever, I say to the viewers. Wait, round two, weight toss. The next game was to toss a heavy weight as far as you can into Lake Erie, and whoever throws the farthest wins. Me and Hunk, along with four other muscle-bound guys, had one 10-ton weight each. The weights had a what? So you're implying Hunk is currently lifting a 10-ton weight? Which, I mean, granted, it says 10 ton. And the barbell that he was having trouble lifting was said it had 9-ton weights, which I assume means that each end of the barbell had 9-ton weights, which is equivalent to 18 tons plus however much the bar weighs. But at that point, it doesn't really matter, does it? But if that's the case, then why would he lift a 200-pound barbell if he can very clearly lift at minimum 9 tons? You know, do do a barbell with a 4.5 weight on each ton weight on each side. It's just whatever. I got an itch. Done. Dealt with. You'll never hear about it again. Well, not that particular one. I will have more. This is a promise. Okay. The weights had a red buoy tied to it. First up, and Don the Whale Lift. Don the Whale Lift, announces the announcer. Don threw his weight and it splashed far into the lake. A man rowed out on a kayak and measured the distance. 200 yards is the measurer. Fantastic. Next up, Larry the Typhoon Blower says, okay, no, wait, this has to be. This has to be. Isn't this like exactly something they did in SpongeBob in the episode where he gets the big blow up muscle arms? I don't know. Man, I'm confused. I'm so confused. Larry spun the weight around and he threw it out a huge distance and it splashed. 200 yards, announces the measurer. Great job. Oh my god, it is. Third contender not important. Next, Sandy the Texas Bull. Firstly, are you implying that Sandy's the third contender who isn't important? Or did we skip the third contender? Hold on, it says me and Hunk along with four other muscle bound guys. So a total of 6. And yeah, so we just skip. Why didn't you just do me and Hunk with four other muscle bound people, by the way? Because, I mean, sure, guys can be used for guys and girls. I do it plenty of times, but, Sandy is most definitely a woman. Great job, third contender not important. Next, Sandy the Texas Bull, because it is apparently a SpongeBob. Just whatever. Sandy threw the weight into the air, spun around and kicked it, and it splashed into the lake at a huge distance. Can we understand though that Sandy's the size of a squirrel? She looks human size next to SpongeBob, but obviously SpongeBob isn't human; he's a sponge. These Sandy is small. Sandy is small. I'm sure she could lift heavy things compared to her size, like how it's impressive an ant can lift a leaf, even though it doesn't look all that impressive. Whatever. Oh god. Oh god, am I gonna have to do a Sandy impression? I don't wanna. I can barely do Southern. Sandy threw the weight into the air, spun around, kicked it, and it splashed a huge distance. 510 yards, says the measurer. Wow, great throw, Sandy, I say, because apparently the only person who deserves a compliment is the one who is recognizable, or potentially because she's a girl. Squirrel, which is weird, but still. Thanks, J. Kill me. Thanks, JD. Good luck. Southern says Sandy in a very convincing Southern accent. Thank you, I say. Fabulous. Next, Hunk Hardbody, announces the announcer. Hunk threw his weight and it splashed near the same spot where Sandy's weight was. 500. Genuinely shocked. I thought it would be shorter than Sandy's. 510 yards, says the measurer. Wow, it's a tie, announces the announcer. Let's hear it for Hunk Hardbody, says Hunk. The crowd did not cheer, and the sound of crickets was the only thing that was heard. Last contestant, JD Nutson, who by far has the lamest name. Hunk Hardbody, epic. Sandy the Texas Bull, I mean, yeah. Don the Whale Lift, well, that one's a little weird, but Typhoon Blower, fantastic. Wait, are those names of Sponge? Because I know there were multiple strong people in the SpongeBob episode, and those are weirdly oceanic names for a lake event. Whatever. What was I? 510. Wow, it's a tie. See if the crickets were heard. Last contestant, JD Nutson. Everyone cheered wildly for me. Yeah! All right, here goes. I grabbed my weight and twirled around at a fast speed and kicked it far. What? Whatever. It splashed down farther than Zandy and Hunks. 725 yards. Announces the measurer. Unbelievable! What a throw! JD Nutson wins the Lake Erie Muscle Beach Championship. Championship? Consisting of 2 rounds, and also it's just like anybody can stroll up and do it. Championship implies like brackets. I don't know. I guess I don't know much about Muscle Beach Championships now, do I? Everyone cheered wildly for me, and I was lifted up in a mesh net by the ladies, and Sandy was with them. God, I couldn't believe I called it. I will never give up against you, JD. I am still the greatest. In my eyes, Hunk, you are. You are. Sheesh, buddy, give it a rest already, I say. Hunk Hardbody's name was now Mud? What do you mean, what? You can't just do that. You can't just. I hate you. I changed your name. You can't. Why, dude? Hunk Hardbody's name was Ahmad, sure. In Vanzilla, we were driving home, and I had a nice solid gold trophy with a muscular arm on it, and I was given a check for $500,000. Thank God it went to JD, the billionaire, or millionaire, at least millionaire. Maybe he's a billionaire at this point. Just sell some more stupid friggin' bird nests, bird houses at school and get upwards of, I don't even remember. It could have been $1,000. Any more than 1,000 is just absurd to make at a friggin' school event. Selling bird houses. Where was I? Boy, JD, you sure dominated that whole competition. Awesome job. You know, despite the fact that they were near the lake, they didn't do anything beach related. You know, I mean, sure, it was the beach championship, but like, not one, I didn't see a single person, I didn't see a single line describing how people even touched the water. You know, sure, people were in bikinis and swimsuits, and water was definitely what they threw the weights into, but like nobody even swam once. I mean, there was the kayaking measurer. He was the closest thing to like typical beach activity that we saw. I hate you. I hate you, JD. What am I saying? I love JD. Love him. Love JD. Awesome job. Thanks, Mr. Lin. But I wasn't in it for the fame, fortune, and notoriety. I did it because it was fun. That is a bold-faced lie, I say. You were awesome, JD. I don't think I could have won that contest, says Lin. You can do it, Lin. You just have to train hard and believe in yourself and show them how it's done the right way, I say. That's right, Junior. You already are great at sports. You can be great at everything with a lot of training, says Rita. Jack of all trades, master of none. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, JD, says Lin. No problem, I say. JD, you were incredible, says Vuri. Thanks, Vuri. This was a great trip to the beach, is it? Was it? I say. You said it, JD, says Lori. That was fun, says Eileen. You said it, says Naruto. That was a fun trip to the beach. One I will never forget, says Lainey. Me neither, says Krista. Same here, says Lana. None of us will ever forget this one, says Lainey, winking at the screen. Iris in. The end. Why does everybody need to say, I'm not going to forget this? I'm not afraid that next chapter, the character may have forgotten it because they didn't imply that they wouldn't forget it. Okay? I don't care even. Whatever. Another fanfiction completed. I wanted to do a Muscle Beach chapter for a while now. Okay, so it is a SpongeBob thing. Kill. Yeah. Yeah, let's not finish that. I got the idea from the Tom and Jerry Kids episode Muscle Beach Droopy. Okay, never mind. I saw SpongeBob, though. Yeah, hold on. I've added some elements from SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it! Season 1 episode Muscle Bob Buff Pants. Wow! Muscle Bob Buff Pants is season 1. I had no idea. And I thought it would add some excitement. That's one of my favorites. I watched Tom and Jerry and Tom and Jerry Kids all the time. When I was growing up, my favorite segments are the droopy episodes. I have some more past cartoons chapters coming up. Let me know what you all think. See you soon. See you next time. I mean, I hated it, by the way. Tom and Jerry elements belong to Hanna-Barbera and Turner Entertainment Co. SpongeBob SquarePants belongs to Nickelodeon Studios and Steven Hillenburg. Fantastic. Oh man, I don't like this. Oh, I shouldn't have put this off for so long. The longer I go between reading, the more I realize just how much time I could have spent not reading this. And now I've got this long chapter here that's going to take me like a full normally it'd take me maybe 20 to 30 minutes, but I have to stop and yell and scream at every little annoying thing because that's the only way, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the only way I can survive this. What's this? Zombie Forge. Oh. That is from my it's weird that I remember this, but those options here, a little bit of a side tangent, are from my mod manager for Minecraft, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Where was I? It starts out with Meavery, Eileen, Jesse, Woody, Riley, Jerry, Starfire, Raven. Oh, I didn't even read the chapter. I'm such an idiot. Chapter 71, read aloud. Judging by the bold, this looks like an actual Loud House episode that's being actually revamped. He should do these more often. Then again, whatever. It starts out with Meavery, Eileen, Jesse, Woody, Riley, Jerry, Starfire, Raven, Terra, Argent, Cole, the Eds, Naruto, Sakura, Fu, Ino, Hanada, and the Loud siblings in the living room, and Lincoln is showing us an exciting activity. Why didn't you say Naruto and the girls this time? Let's go right past it because it's going to take us a while to get through this one. Guys, you're not going to believe this. The library's having a contest. We can win an entire night at Spunk E Pigeons. Ooh. Excuse me. Says Lincoln, showing his family the flyer for the contest. Yeah, it's going to be awesome, says Linka. Right, because she's there too. But you didn't bother saying Lincoln and Linka is showing us an exciting activity. Whatever. Transition to a commercial for the place. Spunk E Pigeons Pizza Palooza Paradise, starring your favorite video games, your favorite toppings, and your favorite hits. Announces the narrates the announcer actually. Ooh, girl, if I could, says what? What? Ooh, girl, if I could. Oh, is it like a sing? Is he singing? Ooh, girl, if I could. What? Oh, okay. I'm understanding it. Ooh, girl, if I could, says Spunky in a metallic tone. Ooh, girl, says animatronic fish. Give you the world, girl, says Spunky and Fish. I don't even know how I'm supposed to sing that. Give you the world, girl. Spunky Pigeon's Pizza Palooza Paradise. Spunky Peas. Oh, you'll lose your mind! Announces the announcer. End commercial. Awesome, I say. Now you're speaking my language, Lincoln, says Furry. Furry, okay. Uh, you mean all of it? What is happening? You mean all of it? Says, oh, are they implying they didn't believe you? Him, Lincoln? Says, sisters and the parents excited? I'm so confused. Yeah, all to ourselves. Oh, wait, they get all of it to themselves. Okay. All right. I bet a good like 50% of the confusion here is just me messing up my reading. I apologize, but I'm not going to read back because I don't apologize that much. You mean all of it? exclaims the sisters and parents, excited. Yeah, all to ourselves. We just have to read as many books as we can as a family, says Lincoln. This is going to be awesome, says Eileen. I agree, friend, says Starfire. This could be fun. This could be fun for me, says Raven. Who, sure, whatever. Me too, says Tara. I love to read, says Jerry. Me too. Finally, a test of my wonderful reading skills, says Laney. Well, hot dog, kids. We've got something to do. Some reading to do, says Lynn Sr. To the library, says Rita. Uh-oh, my overdue fine, says Lisa, worried. Everyone starts heading out the door. Spunky pigeon, spunky pigeon, spunky pigeon, chants everyone except Lola. Reading, huh? Asks Lola, nonchalantly. Lincoln's expression changes to one of shock. What? I don't care. The library. Everyone minus Lola. The library, the library, the library, chants everyone minus Lola. Shh. Shushes librarian Weta. Whoops. Hush tones, kids, says Rita quietly. Sorry, Miss Rita. I whisper. Hut, hut, says Lynn Sr. The family spreads out. The family spreads out all over the library and goes to get their books. I walk around the library and look at some books. Let's see here. I find a certain book and gasp. Volcanoes around the world and an encyclopedia on the worlds of volcanoes. I love volcanoes and I want to know more about all of them, says I say. That seems like a long book though. It doesn't specify the type of book, right? It just says read the most books. Okay, fine, easy. I'll just go to the kids section, read 20 nursery rhyme books, picture books even, and boom. How do they even test this? Who's keeping track? Are these going to show up to Spunky Pizza? I've already forgotten. Pigeon, Spunky Pigeon. Weird name, by the way. And say, oh yeah, we read 100 books. You just got to believe us. I feel like this is more of an issue with the original episode, but I want to point it out anyways. Or are they going to bring the books they read? Are they going to take a test to prove that they read the books? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Anyways, okay. Varee finds a certain book. Ooh, Legends and Myths of the Ocean. Interesting. Oh, everyone's going to get their special books now. Oh, God, be merciful, please. Hums Eileen and she finds a book she likes. A book? One word, a book. Dinosaurs of the World, my favorite. Let's see here, says Jessie, finding a certain book. Space Machines and Mechanics, right on. So many books to choose from, says Woody, finding a certain book. Encyclopedia of Trees. Cool. It's just, people don't read that, all right? I don't walk up to you and say, "Oh yeah, I like Norse mythology," and then I go and find a book about Norse mythology encyclopedia. No, all right. I read maybe something other than an encyclopedia. Maybe even books about stories of Norse mythology. I don't know. Just not everybody just picks up an entire encyclopedia about the topic they like. Partly because it would make them look like nerds. And I'm not a nerd. What was I? Encyclopedia of Trees. Cool, says Woody. Let's see here, says Riley, looking around and finds a good book and gasps. My favorite. Seashell Encyclopedia. Fantastic. Let's see what they got, says Jerry, finding a certain book. Lions and How They Live. Neat. Let's see what they have here, says Starfire, finding a certain book. Space Weather. Fascinating. Okay, there are a lot of books I like here, says Raven. Raven cleans out the whole shelf of dark occult books. The whole shelf of dark occult books in a library? Okay. Hey, man, I don't go to libraries often. How should I know? Okay, let's see, says Tara, finding a bunch of books. I can read all of these. Tara cleans out the whole shelf on Earth, rocks, minerals, and geology. Argent got a book on nuclear physics in her native homeland, New Zealand. Cole got a couple of books on light science. Ed got a book on science fiction monsters. Double D got a bunch of psychology and science books. Eddie got a couple of joke books. Well, then what's Luann gonna read? Naruto got a couple of recipe books on ramen and more. Sakura got some medical books. Fu got some books on insects. Ino got some psychology books. Wait, isn't that the same as Double D? Who cares? Hinata got some books on flowers. Lainey walks through the library and looks at the books. Let's see here, she says, taking a book. Life in the Navy? She puts the book back. No. She takes another. Kiss Me in New York? She puts the book back. Ever liked a romance? She finds a certain book and gasps. John Ruby in the Strange Time Capsule? My favorite mystery series. She runs over to the librarian. Oh, Miss Weta, I'd like to check this book out, says Lainey. Ah, a John Ruby book, huh? Asks librarian Weta. Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan, says Lainey. Librarian Weta checks out Lainey's book. Here you go, says librarian Weta. Thank you, says Lainey. As Lainey leaves, she notices Lisa wearing a cowboy hat and a mustache. Huh? She asks, she says confusedly. You look familiar, says librarian Weta, suspicious. Oh, she puts on a fake Texan accent. No, ma'am. I'm brand new around these parts, around these here parts, says Lisa. Really, Lisa? Thanks, lady. I swear I've seen you somewhere before, says librarian Weta. We all come in with a plethora of books to check out. Wow, we practically cleaned out the whole library, I said. No, no. You know how big a library is? I don't, actually, but I feel like, then again, there's like an absolute crap ton of you. Wait a minute, it says you guys get in by proving how much books you guys read as a family, right? And you can pretend all you'd like that, oh, we are a family, but no, you're not. You're friends. Family friends. Not that I guess, if they're not going to bother checking whether or not they actually read the books, because I don't know how they're going to do that. So I guess it's unrealistic for me to believe that they'd find some way to check if they are actually related. I'm getting off track. Yeah, we sure did, says Marie. Emilio, I'm gonna need backup, says librarian Weta on desk phone. Back home, I was reading my book on the sofa. What book did you get, JD? Oh my goodness, if we have a whole section about them telling each other about which book they got, asks Lincoln. I got a book on volcanoes of the world. Earth's volcanoes have always been very fascinating to me ever since I was little, I say. I can tell. You can tell? What does he rant about volcanoes on the occasion? This is the first I'm hearing about his love for volcanoes, and I'm the goddamn omnipotent force here, I'm the eyes looking in. I know everything before you guys do. Unless, of course, the author wants to imply otherwise, but my point is, came out of left field. I mean, I'm sure JD, as an actual straight up person, James Knutson, likes volcanoes. It would just be better if you just said something along the lines of, I like volcanoes, in like any chapter prior to this one. Whatever. Whatever, I say. I can tell. Lincoln walked around the house and everyone was reading different books. He decided to ask what they got, starting with Lori. In Lori's room. Hey, Lori, what book did you get? Asks Lincoln. A great mystery novel. Rumor has it, says Lori. Sounds neat, says Lincoln. In Lenny's room. Hey, Lenny, what's your book you got? Asks Lincoln. The Story of Fashion. It is totes amazing, says Lenny. I can tell, says... Okay, I can tell, says Lincoln. In Varie's room. What book did you get, Varie? Asks Lincoln. Legends and Myths of the Ocean. It's really interesting. The one that really fascinates me is the Bermuda Triangle. That's Lori. Varie, I mean. I've heard about the legends. Lots of planes, ships, and boats. Oh, my nose! From over the centuries disappeared because of it, says Lincoln. Yeah, says Varie. Lincoln asked everyone what books they got until he got to Lola. What did you get from the library, Lola? Asks Lincoln. Lola shows him a roll of stickers. Stickers? Uh, I'm not sure those count as something to read, says Lincoln. Reading's boring, says Lola. No, it's not. And we can't win the pizza party unless everyone in the family reads at least one book, says Lincoln. Well, tough tiaras, 'cause I'm not gonna do it, says Lola, going upstairs. I didn't know Lola doesn't like to read, I say. Yeah, says Marie. Dudes, Lola's gonna blow our pizza party. What are we gonna do? Asks Luna. Yeah, and I love pizza as much as all of you guys, says Eileen, who I guess is feeling a bit of imposter syndrome and has to justify her reason for being there. Like, is she a little self conscious? Like, what if they don't understand? Like, what if they don't, I don't know, I- imply me? No, not the word I'm looking for. Insert me? Oh, how am I forgetting this? Include me! There we go. What if they don't include me in the pizza party? I have to remember them that I'm a part of the family, quote unquote. I don't know. It's weird. Little little That's a character flaw. She's self-conscious. We can latch onto that. She'll be the one character who's got even the slightest bit of depth. Depth. Easy. We'd chain her up in the attic and tell the librarian she never existed. Lana just has to pretend she was a split personality. Oh, the librarian is apparently the one. I mean, she still won't be able to check whether or not you've read it. Whatever. Lana just has to pretend she has a split personality, says Lucy. I can do it, says Lana. Seems a little extreme, says Lynn Sr., unsure. Yeah, that sounds a little too drastic, says Tara. Honey, there's pizza at stake here, says Rita, shaking her husband. What? Okay. No. Isn't there another way we can get Lola to read? Asks Lainey. Maybe there is. You heard Lola. She just thinks that reading is boring. So we need to help her see that it is not. It's not, says Lincoln. Good plan, Lincoln, says Naruto. It's worth a try, says Fu. You're right. That makes more sense, says Rita. Just in case, keep your chains handy, whispers Rita to Lucy. The kitchen. The kitchen. Lynn Sr. is reading the cookbook he checked out as Lola comes in. Whoa! You can make pancakes with just eggs and a banana? What? Boy, I tell you, these cookbooks are a non-stop thrill ride. You want to read one? Asks Lynn, stagily excited. No, but when you've made those pancakes, give me a holler. Lola out, says Lola, with a bowl from the fridge, leaving for the dining room. This book is a hoot. I'm gonna have to get some ice for my knees. I've been slapping them so hard. Care to read one? Asks Luann, stagily laughing. Sorry, Mom says I do too much slapping already, and biting, and skin kicking, and hair pulling, says Lola, leaving. Hey Lola, you got to check out this book on candy jokes. They are loaded with sweet humor. Rim shot. Eddie laughs hysterically. Apparently, this one is not staged because it doesn't say stagely. So I assume he just genuinely thinks it's funny, even though it's just genuinely not. Good one, Eddie. Ha 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 ha. Good one, Eddie. Ha ha. Good one. Ha ha. Good one, Eddie. Says Luann. Ha ha ha. Thanks, Luann. Says Eddie. Ha ha. I do love candy jokes. I do love candy, but jokes aren't my thing. Says Lola, leaving. Lenny walks over to Lola, holding her back. Wow, I just came from reading the latest John Ruby book, and it blew my mind, especially the part where it's revealed in a picture frame John found in the principal's desk that. Oh, look at me being a spoiler. Want to read it for yourself? Asks Laney. No, thank you. Mysteries hurt my brain, says Lola. Upstairs, Lana is fixing up Lola's car with the aid of her mechanic manual. All fixed. It is amazing what you can learn from these auto repair books. Want to read one, Lola? Asks Lana. Why? That's what I pay you for. Okay. Why? That's what I pay you for, says Lola, tossing Lana a sack. 8 crickets, as agreed. She goes to her room, putting her bowl on her tea party table, and sits down. Ugh. Lucy appears right behind her. Hey, Lola. Lola yelps and falls out of her seat. Want to check out volume 1 of the greatest romance of all time? He's a dark, brooding vampire. She's a misunderstood girl from the wrong side of the cemetery, says Lucy. Asks Lucy, I guess. No, thank you. I prefer Prince Charming and Prince Alarming, says Lola. Good one, good one. Enter Lincoln, dressed as Ace Savvy, and Linka dressed as Lady 10, whoever that is. Well, how about Volume 1 of the greatest crime fighting duo of all time? He's an undercover hero with an ace up his sleeve. Uh, Holding up the ace of spades on cue. His sidekick is. Ugh, stop, says Lola, shoving Lucy, Linka, and Lincoln out of her room. For the last time, I'm not interested in reading any of your books, says Lola. It's gonna be revealed that Lola can't read, and she's super embarrassed about it. I've never seen Lola not wanting to read any books. What's? Oh, well, maybe not. I'm mistaken. Maybe. What has gotten into her? Asks Double D. I don't know. Double D answers Riley. Just Riley, Double D, Woody Wood. It's just hitting me right now. It's really just the stupidest thing in the world. Um, we've got to do something for friend Lola, says Starfire. We were going we're, we were going about this all wrong. Of course Lola is not interested in any of our books. We need to find ones that are right for her, says Lincoln. The others agree with that statement. Lola is in the basement, steam pressing her dress, when out Lincoln pops his head out of the mannequin. Hey Lola, I know you don't want to read about Ace Savvy, but this time I have something that's perfect for you. The Bossy Twins, says Lincoln, giving Lola a Bossy Twins book. They're first graders just like you and Lana, and they solve mysteries, says Lincoln. Do they ever solve the mystery of who gave them those hideous haircuts? Burn, asks Lola, looking at the cover, snidely. Lincoln looks frustrated. Lola is making tea on the dining room table when Lincoln pops up. Hey Lola, I've got a perfect book for you. It'll answer all of your burning questions about tea party etiquette, says Lincoln. Oh, I don't have any questions. I'm an expert, says Lola. Oh yeah? Asks Lincoln, opening page 1. Opens a page. Do you know the proper serving temperature for Earl Grey? He asks. 208 degrees Fahrenheit, answers Lola. Lincoln looks it up and, judging by the look on his face, finds out she's right. Lola is now watching TV, and Lincoln pops up with another book. Frankie and Friendly Fairy? Asks Lincoln. Pass, I'm into unicorns now. Aha! Then you love, Lincoln takes out another book, Unicorn University, says Lincoln. Exclaims Lincoln. I've already seen the movie. Ugh, that's 99 minutes I'll never take back. I'll never get back, says Lola, getting up and walking away. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta tinkle. Fantastic. Lincoln goes upstairs and blocks the bathroom door. Come on, Lola. The contest ends tomorrow and you're letting everyone down. I'm not moving until you agree to read a book, says Lincoln. Lola reluctantly grabs one. Fine, just give me the princess one. She goes into the bathroom and shuts the door. The library. Did I say the library? She goes to the library and I meant to say the bathroom and shuts the door. Unless I said it right the first time. Who cares? The library. We're finished, say the Loud family. We're all finished too, I say, as if that matters. The Nuts and Loud Anderson. Oh, the Nuts and Loud Anderson family would like to report 517 books read. My ass. Okay, says Rita. Very impressive. The next highest family total is 23, and the contest ends at 5, says Librarian Weta. Adds the Loud's names to the board in the lead. You've got this wrapped up, says Librarian Weta. We all cheer except Lola. I'll just need you to all prove you read the books by giving you a book by book quiz. They really do. They really do. Just give them a quiz. Whatever. We're ready for anything, says Lynn Sr., determined. You, bread crust and a meat loaf. How much? Asks Librarian Weta, taking Lynn Sr.'s cookbook. Half a cup, says Lynn Sr. Very good. She takes Laurie's mystery novel. You, twist ending, go. So it turns out it wasn't even a student running the blog. It was a teacher, and he literally tried to frame Gabby with a laptop in her. That's enough. Very good. Librarian Weta takes Lily's book on mermaids. Mermaids are said to be what? Immortal, they can live for thousands of years. Well, that would mean that they aren't immortal, and it would instead imply that they could live uh, an estimated amount of time. You know, you don't say immortal and then you give us like a 1,000 years, but whatever. Immortal, they can live for thousands of years, answers Lily. Wait, Lily? Why Lily? Whatever. Very good. She takes librarian Lincoln's Ace Savvy book. Ace Savvy's real name? Spade Nifty, answers Lincoln. What was the strongest hurricane in the 2005 Atlantic hurricane season? Asks librarian Weddle with Lincoln's weather book. Hurricane Katrina winds at 175 miles per hour and $108 billion in 2005 USD. Okay, very good. With Rita's book, what time was Mr. Darcy's party? 8 p.m. sharp, answers Rita. With Lisa's science book, Einstein's Wives, still in her cowboy disguise and accent. Mileva? 1903. I don't know how to say numbers in Texan, which is weird because let's not get into it. Uh, Partner. Mileva, 1903 to 1919. Elsa, 1919 to 1936. Y'all. With Shannon's crime book. Who was the first female serial killer in England? In the England. She asks with Shannon's crime book. Mary Ann Cotton killed 21 people and was hanged on March 21st, 1873, answers Shannon. Very good. That was terrible what she did. Great. With Lana's auto repair menu. 4-stroke engine cycle consists of intake, compression, power, exhausts, answers Lana. With Luann's joke book. Sis boom ba. The sound made when a sheep explodes. Oh. Oh, ba. Did I say blah? Whatever. Answers Luann. Holding Penny's diamond book. What is the most famous diamond in the world? The Hope Diamond, answers Penny. Very good. With Luann's rock music history book. Mick Swagger owes his career to Delta Blues musician Murky Bottom. Answers Luann. With Lenny's fashion history book, fashion begins with Charles Frederick Worth, first to sew a label. Okay. Answers Lenny. With Lynn's sport history book, the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, also prettiest. Prettiest? Never mind. Answers Lynn. With Laney's mystery novel, why was the picture of John's missing parents found in the principal's desk? Principal Davidson used to work for them before the slime incident, in which he had a hand in. Answers Laney. I'm losing it. I'm not even halfway through, and I'm losing it. The night the with Lucy's romance novel, the night the vampire cried, she asks. Trick question. He cried every night, answers Lucy. With JD's volcano book, Krakatoa erupted on which date? She asks. August 26th to 27th, 1883, killing 36,000 people. Why do you know that? Very good. With Maria's book, the Bermuda Triangle is at which key points? Bermuda Island, Miami, Florida, and Puerto Rico, answers Marie. With Eileen's book, meanest dinosaur that ever lived was what? That's like not what? Sure. Tyrannosaurus Rex, answers Eileen. With Jesse's book. The Voyager 2 spacecraft was launched when? She asks. August 20th, 1977, answers Jesse. Holds Gabriel's book on American folklore. Johnny Appleseed was known for what? British accent. Who's Gabriella? I don't remember. Planting acres of apple trees all over Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, in Ontario, Canada. Holds Woody's book. Tallest tree in the world is what? Hyperion redwood tree at 379.3 feet. Holds Riley's book. Most common types of seashells in the ocean are what? Gastropods and bivalves, she answers. Answers Riley. Impressive. Holds Jerry's book. A group of lions is called a what? A pride. I already know that one. A pride, answers Jerry. Holds Starfire's book. The wind speed on Neptune is what? 1,300 miles per hour, answers Starfire. Holds one of Raven's book. Who wrote the History of the Necronomicon? She asks. Horror writer Howard Phillips Lovecraft, answers Raven. Holds up one of Terror's book. Which mineral is used in fireworks? She asks. Celestite and strontianite. answers Tara. Interesting. Interesting? As if you. Like, what? Do you not know that already? She could have lied to you just now. How do you know? Whatever. Hold Argent's book. What is the World Heritage Site of New Zealand? Fiordland National Park, answers Argent. Holds Cole's book. How fast does light travel? 186,000 miles per second, answers Gold. Holds Ed's book. This island Earth was made in what year? 1959, answers Ed. Holds Double D's book. What part of the brain stores memories? She asks the hypothalamus. I'm losing steam here, answers Double D. Holds Eddie's book. What country did candy come from? Sweden, answers Eddie. Rimshot, huh? We all laugh. Ha ha ha, that was funny. Holds Naruto's book. What is the most popular flavor of ramen? She asks. Roast chicken. I'm hungry, answers Naruto. Tasty. Holds one of Sakura's books. The most difficult medical surgery is what? Septal myectomy for hypotrophic cardiomyopathy, answers Sakura. Wow, that's pretty potent. Holds Fu's book. Dragonflies can live for 7 months, depending on habitat and location, answers Fu. Holds Ino's book. The 4 personality traits are what? Choleric, phlegmatic, melancholic, and sanguine, answers Ino. Interesting. Holds Hanada's book. The largest flower in the world is what? She asks the Rafflesia, answers Hanada. Well, I am impressed. Clearly you've done all the work, says Librarian Weta. Thank you, I answer, or I say. I'm losing it. Phew, says Lola. Oh wait, we missed one family member. That's you, sweetie. She takes Lola's princess book. Tell me about Princess Martha and what she wore on her head. A tiara, probably. Sorry. I just had to take a minute. Was I saying? Takes Lola's book. Tell me about Princess Martha and what she wore on her head. Oh, she was a princess, all right. Oh yeah, it was a crown. She wore a crown on her head. Crown. Final answer, says Lola, nervous. True, but what's so interesting about it? Asks Librarian Weta. Oh, it was interesting because it was made of chocolate. Says Lola unassuredly. Chocolate? Asks the Librarian Weta, puzzled. What is this, an interrogation? Asks Lola, irritated. Little girl, did you even read this book? Asks Librarian Weta. No, I didn't read it, says Lola. We all gasp. The rules officially say that every member has to read at least one book. Little girl, I'm afraid you didn't read this book. Your entire family is out, except for JD. Except for JD Nutson and his friends. Except for JD Nutson and his friends. Despite the fact that you put the Nutson Loud Anderson up on the board, right? You can't what? I don't even know what to think of that. That's so dumb. I'm so hungry, man. Must keep reading. Like, sure. I guess technically they're not. But if you're going to let them be excluded like that, like separated from the Loud's failure, then, like, why were you even letting them go together in the first place? Because that's just unfair. Clearly you have the decency, I suppose, to separate the families when one of them screws over the other. But you don't see anything wrong with letting this family of this one large family consisting of three other families read. And obviously, that's just a genuine leg up. It's different when it's the singular Loud family that just has a lot of kids. So naturally, they have an advantage. But these are separate family, no blood relation, that just kind of teamed up, and you're fine with it? So fine with it that you don't question. Okay. Must keep reading. No, I didn't. Except JD Nuts and his friends. Librarian Weta erases the Loud family spot on the board, and they groan at Lola for her blunder and subtracts the number down to 270 books. Wait, what was it before? What was it before? 517 books? The Loud family read I can't do that math. At least 100 books. Okay, whatever. Whatever. I told you I didn't want to do this stinking challenge, says Lola, walking away. Huh. So long, spunky pigeon, says Lenny, devastated. Yeah, I like to give Lola a pizza my mind. Ha ha ha. Get it? But seriously, she ruined everything. Ha ha ha. Good one, Luann. But I don't know why. But I don't know why Lola won't read. I don't understand it. Why would Lola not read a book? Asks Laney. I don't know, Laney, says Eddie. Guys, wait. Remember, Librarian Weta said the contest closes at 5. Lincoln checks his watch. It's only 3. We still have 2 hours. What about Lola? There's literally no point if she won't participate, says Lori. Leave everything to me. I've got her. I'll get her to read that book by 5, says Lincoln. Me too. If Lola's too stubborn to read a book, there's gotta be a reason, and I'm gonna find out what. We both, says Laney. We both will, Laney, says Krista. Eddie, Luann, you want to help us? I ask. Sure, I want to help, says Eddie. Me too, says Luann. It's time to put Operation Get Lola to read so we can have the best pizza party at Spunky Pigeons and think of a shorter name for this operation into action, says Lincoln. How about, oh, this is going to be good. Lola reading Pizza Palooza. Yeah, wow, that's awesome. That's so cool. I say, that's perfect, says Lincoln. Let's do it, says Laney. The rest of the family is leaving. Lola, me, Marie, Eileen, Eddie, Luann, Laney, and Lincoln at the library. You got this, says Lenny. We'll be back in 2 hours, says Lisa. Vanzilla drives off. All right, what's the deal, Lo? Won't you just read one book? Asks Lincoln. Ugh, won't you just read one book? No, I won't, says, says Lola. Why? Why the heck not? Asks Lincoln. Don't you understand how much pizza is at stake here? Asks Laney. Yeah, it's a cheesy situation. Haha, get it? It's not, though. It's not a cheesy situation. Because cheesy doesn't work in this scenario. This isn't like a cheesy scene in a movie, okay? This is just drama, if anything. I don't think there's too many drama cheese puns. Anyways, get it? She asks. Me, Marie, Eileen, and Eddie laugh, and Lincoln and Lola and Laney sigh. Did I say Lincoln and Lola and Laney sigh? Because that's what I meant to say. God, I might be hallucinating. Okay, Lincoln, I guess it's time I told you the truth. Beat. Here. I just don't like pizza, says Lola. Seriously? Asks Laney. Lincoln suddenly recalls photographic memories of Lola actually liking pizza, such as her eating a slice on the table, tucking a slice into her toy bed like a doll, kissing a pizza box, and fighting Charles over a slice. Yeah, not buying that, says Lincoln, doubtful. Me neither, I say. I don't believe that, says Rui. I don't believe. It seems kind of mean that you wouldn't believe your best friend. But of course, everyone will laugh at Luann's jokes, even though they're all awful. Because what if, right? Obviously, all these characters have the good um, fortune to be influenced by a guy that just doesn't understand that conflict makes things more entertaining. But I don't even know what my point is right now. Here's what my point is. Everybody laughs at Luann's jokes. All the important characters. The ones that are saying, like JD and Eddie. The people who are saying, I don't buy that. And Marie and Eileen, yeah. They're saying that they don't buy that? Your best friend just told you, oh, I don't like pizza. And you doubt her? That seems like, obviously, we know that she's telling the truth. But just, in a vacuum, knowing about the character traits of all these characters. It just doesn't seem like them to doubt somebody, you know? They would instantly be all like, yeah, that's okay. We understand. You know? Like the same way they would all instantly like something she would like, you know? What if Lola says, oh, yeah, I love ripping people's organs out. I love killing people. And then they would all be like, oh, I love that too. Oh, we're such good friends. Oh, I'm such a likable character because I like everything that everybody else likes. You know, it's not important, and I need to read more because this is going on too long, and I'm hungry, and I'm not having a good day. Must keep reading. I don't believe that, says Marie. I don't believe one word of that either, says Eileen. I know, you don't like reading books, but everyone's counting on you. It's time to be a team player, says Lincoln. Well, I'm not moving, so good luck getting me back in there, says Lola. Our hands have been forced, I say. Lincoln brings Lola inside the library by pushing her on a book cart. No, yells Lola. Now Lola is on the floor. All right, you're not leaving until you read this whole book in front of me, says Lincoln, giving her the princess book. And we're going to watch you do it, I say. That's the implication. Don't be so hard on her, guys, says Lainey. Honestly, okay, yeah, that's a decent point. Hold on, that's like one millionth of a negative character trait of JD being like demanding and a little bit ruthless in this, I don't know, punishment, treatment. You know, oh, I'm gonna make you read this and you're gonna do it in front of me. You know, I mean, it's hardly evil and it's not all that bad. You know, not bad enough to call it a. It doesn't happen that often, so we can't call it a negative character trait, of which JD has none, mind you. But it's just weird that like actually we see people taking different routes, right? Different from JD at least. You know, typically JD's always right, but here Laney's trying to be a little bit more sympathetic. I don't know. Weird. What you do? Don't be so hard on her, guys, says Lainey, kneeling down to Lola's level. Come on, Lola. Take it from me. When I say that reading is a wonderful experience, maybe you'll understand it better in the form of a song. Oh no, says Lainey. Please don't, says Lola. Lainey sings. Oh no, I'm not doing this, man. I'm in nowhere near good enough mood to sing. I can't do this. It goes on forever. You may think books are boring and mild, but I think your imagination. But it makes your imagination run wild. You can be whatever you want to be, my dear child. Holy shit, it sucks. I've got bad news. So I thought it's a song. Surely JD didn't just come up with a whole song, so I figured maybe it would be in the episode, right? So I look up the episode, read aloud. I look it up. I figure, oh, I'll see how they sing it. I'll see if I can understand the flow. You know, that'll make things easy. That'll make things better. But no, it's an original song as far as I can tell. And I really don't. I'm not really happy about that because I'm not happy about that because you see it's very because like it's not great. And I'm gonna have to figure it out in real time. And like I've like looking at it right now, it's rhyming in threes. All right, mild wild child, princess bless, be me. Okay. You may think books are boring and mild, but it makes your imagination run wild. You can be whatever you want to be, my dear child. In your case, you could be a princess, longing for a prince to bless, 'cause that's how amazing books can be. Wait. Okay, I'm an idiot. I don't even know how I didn't realize this, but it's not rhyming in threes. The first, it goes mild, wild child, then princess, then bless, then be, then me. Okay, dude, this sucks. Okay, this first lyric is not making me happy. You may think, because, like, how do I sing it? What type of song is it? Whatever. You may think books are boring and mild, but it makes your imagination run wild. Dude, I hate this. You can be whatever you want to be, my dear child. In your case, you could be a princess, longing for a prince to bless, 'cause that's how amazing books can be. Take it from me. I play the. What? You may think books are boring and mild, but it makes your imagination wild. You can be whatever you want to be, my dear child. In your case, you could be a princess, longing for a prince to bless, 'cause that's how amazing books can be. There is no way I can sing this. This is the. I look, maybe I just need to hear somebody else sing it, but as far as I can tell, the flow is impossibly awful. I just, you can't go from rhyming in threes to twos. And like, just, but it, you may think books are boring and mild, but it makes your imagination run wild. You can be whatever you want to be, my dear child. Who sings that? You know, you could have just taken out this one and at least it would have been a little bit better. In your case, you could be a princess, longing for a prince to bless, because that's how amazing books can be. Take it from me. I play my violin. All you got to do is read. Luann sings. Sure, you'd rather watch TV all day when you can read the day away. Okay. It might be more of sure, you'd rather watch TV all day when you could read the day away. Wait, you'd rather watch TV all day when you could read the day? You don't like make it sound like one is better than the other. Sure, you'd rather watch TV all day when you could. Don't you mean why? You should have said why watch TV all day when you could read the day away. There's the there's the fun in pages that there's there's the fun in the pages than a shiny screen. Okay, well, there's another reason why I can't really sing it. It's just not grammatically correct. Lincoln sings. You can learn a lot from reading things like cooking, building, even how to sing. Eddie sings as Eileen play her ocarina. It all comes down to using your head. Just say the words and you'll see what I mean. What? That doesn't even rhyme. Eddie, Luann, Lincoln, and Laney singing as Marie plays her pan flute. So now you see the importance of books. There's more to it than the looks. Once open up one and you'll have everything you'll need. All you need to do is read. This was the worst. Oh man, I'd rather sing the freaking Moana songs from a couple chapters back. Ooh ooh. Okay, it's over. All right, I didn't do that great of a job. I don't think. God, who puts a song in the middle of their fanfic, and it's the worst song I've ever sang. I'd rather sing Cupid. At least that's got a damn good beat. I'd rather sing. Hell, I'd rather sing. What's Dreams song? That's what the point of the mask is or something. Because at least that one's funny. I'd rather sing Think of It. Because, I mean, comparatively, that's just a better song than this. I hate to say it. I'm in the thick of it right now. And everybody knows, shh, says Librarian Weta. Oh, that shh I just did kind of just caused me to spit on my keyboard. That's not great. Mevery, Eddie, Luann, Lincoln, and Laney say sorry. Through the song, Eddie, Luann, Lincoln, and Laney tour the library, showing Lola books. It's like a, what's the Aladdin song where he's on the carpet? Sh- uh, it's the one everybody knows. We're singing to the princess whose name I don't remember. Now they're flying through the world. Not the well, they're flying on the carpet through the world. I know "world" is one of the lyrics. A whole new world, I think. I don't know. It's that gave off the type of I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Prince Ali, marvelous he, Ali Ababwa. Some da da genuflect or something down on one knee. Prince Ali, marvelous he. I should listen to that again. Wow, guys, I never realized how important. Oops, I just skipped so ahead. The song, blah, 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 blah. Library showing Lola books about princesses, pirates, mermaids, spacemen, superheroes, cooking, and how to sing, and imagining what it would be like to be in the story. So, what do you think? Ready to give it a try? So asks Lady, handing Lola her book. Wow, guys, I never realized how important reading is. I guess all I can say is books, she exclaims, pointing the other way. Meavery, Eileen, Eddie, Luann, Lincoln, and Laney turn around and say, where? Then realize Lola distracted him and ran away? Dang it. Pickle slices. She got away, I say. I told you the ad-libbing won't work. We rehearsed this, says Laney. You rehearsed it, my ass. I could write a better song than this horse piss. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. The average person could accidentally, like I've genuinely just randomly sung about my environment, not aloud or anything, just in my head, on the occasion. And like it takes a little bit of workshopping as I'm doing it, but it's still like leagues better than this. In fact, there's one particular song that Ethan, my other half, would might recall I sang when we were playing a certain game together. But that's not. That's not. It's not one. It's not a great song. It's not. Let's not think about it. Where was I? Right, I was insulting the song. And I'm not. All right. I'm not beyond admitting that maybe I just messed up singing it. But give me a little credit, all right? It doesn't like give me any idea. It's an original song as far as I can tell, so I have no idea how it's supposed to be sang. I just have to kind of guess. And like I said, it kind of feels like a Disney whole new world type song, the way they implied that they were moving through the library, showing them all these things. But even then, and the rhyming and the grammatical errors, it ain't easy, all right? It ain't easy. Maybe one day I'll come back to it. Hell, maybe if this gets popular enough, I'll release an album wherein I sing all of the songs that are in the Loud House Revamped. Of course, that would consist mostly of, you know, covers, since these aren't originals, and then this one, which is definitely an original, I think, most likely. So, I am Moana. I could do that all day. I'd rather do that all day compared to the book song. We never rehearsed this, says Lincoln. Who cares? She's running. Who cares, I say. Sees her running past a shelf. Hey, get back here! We give chase. I told you, I ain't reading, okay? Says Lola, coming to a dead end. We have you now, says Lincoln. Like heck, she says, attacking us. Lola, why won't you read a book? I ask. Please, Lola, just read the book already. We want pizza, says Laney. What is wrong with you? Is it that hard to read one measly book, says Lincoln. Yes, it is, says Lola. The fight stops. Wait, what? Asks Lincoln, surprised. What do you mean, Lola? Asks Marie. I don't understand, says Eileen. It's too hard for me to read, so I never do, says Lola, sadly. Wait, you mean you can't read? Lola nods sadly. That's terrible, says Laney. Don't you think I want to read about American princesses and unicorns and the Bossy twins, even if they have terrible hair? Says Lola. Oh, Lola, it's all right. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Lots of kids don't know how to read yet. I say. That's all right, says Eileen. Trust me, I know how you feel, says Marie. Me too, Lola. I don't like reading either. I know how to read, but I don't. But I found it boring until I started reading joke books, says Eddie. Sure, yeah, why not? I didn't know how to read either. I found reading fun after reading some joke books, says. What? Whatever, says Luann. What if we helped you? Asks Lincoln. Are you sure? I'm so slow, and we don't have much time. Doesn't it end at 5? Asks Lola. Lincoln looks at his watch and sees that it is now 4. We'll get through it together, and you'll see, the more you read, the easier it gets. Come on, sis, I'll show you, says Lincoln. We all take Lola to show her how to read. The library's study room. Once you, says Lola, trying to read. You got it. Once a pawn. Once upon a Okay, this word looks weird, says Lola. Send it out. There's the T, so ta. Then I want to stop reading this fanfic. Anywho, so once upon a time. Once upon a time. Right, I skipped. Then says Lincoln. Oh. Time! Once upon a time, says Lola. Lincoln looks at the clock and sees that it is 4:45. Soon the clock changes to 5 p.m., the deadline. Lola, still reading, and sees the time. Oh, Lincoln, it's 5 o'clock. What are we going to do? She asks. Don't worry about that. Let's finish reading, says Lincoln. Later. And they lived happily ever. Happily ever after. The end. She closes the book. I can't believe it. I read a whole book. She hugs us. Oh, thank you, says Lola. Don't mention it, Lola. I'm just glad you finally know how to read, says Lainey, hugging back. We're proud of you, Lola, I say. That's our beauty pageant princess, says Marie. You've made us proud, says Eileen. We knew you had it in ya, right, Luann? Asks Eddie. You've read my mind, says Luann. Rimshot laughs. Get it? Hey, actually, yeah, I think that is technically a pun. Look at that. Look at that. Discord pings are going off like crazy. I said it before, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but I hope it does not pick up on the recording. Mevery, Eileen, and Eddie laugh. Ha ha ha, good one, I say. That was funny, says Very. They step out of the study room. So proud of you, sis, says Lincoln. Everyone else is right there, angry for missing the deadline. Lincoln, it's 5:30. The contest ended half an hour ago, says Luna. Totally my fault. It's just so quiet here. I must have fallen asleep, says Lincoln, taking the blame. Well, you literally blew it, says Lori. Lincoln, you lost the contest for all of us, says Lynn. Yeah, we know, says Lincoln. We're sorry, says Laney. It was totally our fault, everyone, and there's a reason for it, I say. This is my fault. They spent the whole time helping me read. 'Cause, well, it's hard for me, but I like it now. And I'm going to keep practicing because it's not as hard as I thought, says Lola. Everyone apologizes and forgives Lola. That's so sweet. We're so sorry, Lola. We're so sorry, says Lana to Lola. We understand, Lola, says Starfire. I know how you feel, Lola. I didn't like reading either. It was hard for me, too, says Tara, scratching my ear. It's hard to read for some people, and it can be frustrating for them, says Argent. It's frustrating for me right now. It was tough for me, too, says Cole. Lola, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Lots of people in your age group don't know how to read, says Double D. That's right, and it was hard for me too when I was 6 years old, says Linka. I found reading to be difficult for me too. But now I love it, and it's a fun activity for me, says Gabriella. Gabriella, I had problems reading too, but I found reading to be fun. Back when I became a black daffodil, I forgot how fun some things were, says Shannon, and that was before. So I say, what does that even... Okay, yeah. Now I have everything fun back in my life again, says Shannon. Me too, says Penny. I used to not read a lot. Lola, I now find reading fun, says Ed. The point is, Lola, even though some kids don't like reading, reading is a doorway into vivid world wonders of the imagination, says Jessie. And it is a fun activity. It's not. I can confidently say right now it is not a fun activity, says Woody. Reading is essential for the mind to grow, says Jerry. Nah, yeah, I love reading now, says Naruto. I've always been the bookworm in the academy, and I love to read, says Sakura. Me too, says We're sorry, Lola. We had no idea you didn't know how to read, says Hanada. It's okay. I'm sorry I cost Spunky Pigeon for you guys, says Lola. Aw, sweetie, that doesn't matter now, says Rita. Yes, the important thing is that you're now able to enjoy the wonders of literacy, says Lisa, taking off her disguise. I knew it! I recognize that voice. The one the one with the fine, says Librarian Weta, furious. Peace out, says Lisa, aware she's busted. Wait, Lisa, Miss Weta. How much does Lisa owe? $50,000 in unpaid book fines. I mean, sure. Late book fees, I think. $50,000, says Librarian Weta. We were floored, jumping to tomato slices. Well, luckily, it's good to be filthy rich. Checks or credit cards, I ask. Credit cards work. It's nice of you to pay Lisa's fine, says Librarian Weta. You're so cool. You're so fucking awesome. I know, I say. Thank you, JD. You're a true best friend, says Lisa. You're welcome, Lisa. I paid Lisa's fines and her library record was flaw-free. Thank you, JD, says librarian. What, the Spunky Pigeon commercial, I just said commercials twice because I knew that saying it the first time was wrong, and then I said commercials again. It's playing again. Oh, girl, if I could, says Spunky in a metallic tone. Oh, girl, give you the world, girl, says Spunky in an animatronic skunk. Wasn't it a fish last time? Who knows? The Fuzzerockin' Explodaganza appears every 6 minutes. What? Says announcer. We are all watching it. I'm sorry you gave up the pizza party, JD. Of course he didn't go because he's just so. He's awesome. He's really great. I'm sorry you gave up the pizza party, JD. Says Lana. I know, Lana, but helping Lola read was much more important than the reading contest. I agree. Says Veri. Me too. Lola needed our help, says Eileen. Maybe it was for the best. Those animatronics really creep me out, says Laney. You know, this commercial is so realistic. I totally smell pizza, says Lenny. We all sniff around and find the smell is coming from Lola's room, which is packed with toy ovens. Lola is in a chef's outfit and reading one of her dad's cookbooks. Hey guys, now that I can read, I thought I'd make us all some pizzas, pepperonis in the oven. And next up is, she looks at the book, pineapple. That's disgusting. Says Lola. Wow, you really broke out the pizza oven, says I say. This is amazing, says Veri. The timer goes off. Much to our delight. Later, everyone is eating Lola's pizza. Well, isn't this just great? Asks Rita. Just as good as spunky pigeons, says Lincoln. You said it, I say. Delicious, Lola, says Veri. Yummy, says Eileen. Just as good as the pizza we like back in our dimension, says Tara. Says Argent. Lola, you make great pizza, says Laney. That's our little princess, says Eddie. This is a good slice of life for Lola. Get it, says Luann. Me, Eileen, Eddie, Tara, Jesse, Naruto, Sakura, and Lenny laugh. I get it. I say, slice of life. I just got that. Great pizza, Lola, says Raven. This pizza is delicious. If I had a heart, it would be jumping with joy, says Lucy. An extraordinary and flavorful enjoyment, says Gabriella. It tastes just like the pizza we ate back when I was a black daffodil. What? Okay, we ate pizza all the time. Stellar, says Gabrielle. Shannon, I mean. I don't even want to know what being a black daffodil was like. No offense, Shannon, says Linka. None taken, Linka. Why is this coming up, says Shannon. Good, says Penny. Good, says Penny. What is that, like her reacting to the whole Lincoln and Shanna convo, or is she just describing the pizza? Good, good pizza, says Penny. Our little princess is growing up fast, says Senior. Indeed, Father Unit, says Lisa. Guess we had our own little pizza party after all, huh? Asks Laney. Yeah, we sure did, I say. Reading is both a fun adventure and a great learning experience for your brain and everyone around you. It's your ultimate doorway into the vast power of your imagination. That'll become like literal, I'm sure, any minute now, any chapter. I say to the viewers, that's right, reading is a great thing for you. It builds up your smarts and your memories, says Lincoln to the viewers. That's right, because knowledge is power. Winks and the screen iris in, says Lady to the viewers. The end. Another fanfiction completed. This one was on my mind for a while. I wanted to add some of my strongest subject in school to the books. I had to look up on the internet some of the answers to the questions librarian Wada was asking, and it was not easy. It wasn't easy using Google. Okay. I haven't been giving much attention to Gabriella lately, and I'm sorry about that, but I have plans later on. Let me know if you all liked it. Oh, what you all think, I mean. See you next time. I won't say anything certain, so you can just guess to whether or not I liked it. Hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the. Goodbye.